What's good, everybody? So, I'm here to tell you all about the Crucible and the tipping point and how they connect to each other and how the ideas of the tipping point apply to the Crucible. So, all this is based upon the idea of the law of the few, which is a tiny percentage of people do the majority of the work. He gives this idea that 80% of the people do 20% of the work. So, that means if we have five pencils, right? We take one pencil away and we write for five different people, right? We write all the things that they need to write. That's the principle, which makes sense in Salem because back in that time period, there were about 500 to 600 people, right? And there were only 19 characters in the Crucible. So like the percentages there are even crazier, fewer people, right? So now I'm gonna tell you about how John Proctor, this right here, John P. Proctor, is a maven. Gladwell defines maven as a person who has information on a lot of different products or places. A person likes to initiate discussions with consumers and respond to requests. They like to be helpers in the marketplace. They distribute coupons. They take you shopping. They go shopping for you. This is the person who connects people to the marketplace, has the inside scoop on the marketplace. So he doesn't have the inside scoop on the marketplace, right? This isn't a consumer type thing. This is him knowing the information on what is going on. He knows that everyone's lying and he's just trying to get his point across. He says, why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? If the accuser always holy now, were they born in this morning as clean as God fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. He's just speaking the truth here. Like he knows the truth and he's trying to spread that. He's the maven. But the mavens don't always have the most influence in the society. He's just trying to get his point across. But he's not a connector. He sticks to himself. He's not a salesman. He doesn't have this charisma to him. He's just this guy who's saying all these things, right? And then at the very end, when he's accused and put to death, he says, because it is my name, because I cannot have another in my life, because I lie and sign myself to lies, because I am not worth the dust on my feet of them that hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name. Here he's saying the truth from just a different perspective. He's saying it from all the people who have died and all the people who will continue to die. He's saying, this is what's going on. We aren't lying, but we can't tell you that because you would disgrace our names. And so he's just giving all this information to people, but they don't believe him. Even though they don't believe him, this guy right here. He's still got all the information. He's still a maven. That's what I think, at least. So then, we also have this one girl. Her name's Abigail. Crazy girl. We've all had a crazy girl in our life at some point. And so, I believe that she's two different things. Crazy, right? Two things. Well, I think that she's a connector and a salesperson. And I think this because, so Gladwell, he defines connectors as these people who link us up with the world, who bridge Omaha and Sharon, who introduce us to our social circles. These people are whom we rely on more heavily than we realize. Are connectors, people with a very special gift of bringing people together. And of course, that's President Abigail because she caused this whole thing to happen. And she is able to cause this thing happen because she is so well connected in the society. She says, my name is good in the village. I will not have it said my name is soiled. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar. She's so committed to being so spread out in this community that when one person says something against her, she's very hurt by this. She wants everyone to know who she is and think of her in a high regard, which is exactly what she needs to do in order to continue spreading this idea. And also, in order to do this, I think she has to be a salesperson because there's no in-between between that. She's the one connecting people and selling it. Gladwell defines salespeople as mavens or data banks. They provide the message. Connectors are social glue. They spread it. But there is a select group of people, salesmen, with the skills to persuade us when we are unconvinced of what we are hearing. And they are as critical to the tipping word-of-mouth epidemics as the other two. She's the one pushing this idea. She's the one selling it. When she goes out of her way to do this, she just openly yells, I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. And she continues on and on. But we know, as the audience, we all know this is lies. But that doesn't matter in the story because they don't know that, and it's just the way she is selling it to these people. She is so convincing. The reason this spreads isn't because they're just like, ooh, Abby's a cute girl. Because otherwise, then she wouldn't just be falling in love with John Proctor. Am I right? But she's the one who's pushing this main idea to everybody in the community. And that's really what is going on. And because she's a connector, she can spread it to everybody in the community. And so that's why I think Abigail and John Proctor represent the points of the tipping point exactly.